Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Sorry, I'm running late. I had issues with the files, so I pretty much had to start the game all over again. But luckily for all the skipping text, I got to do it in like 2 hours, maybe less. So we're back here at the start of chapter 3 again. So we're gonna run through this chapter again. And then last episode, I had gotten the bad ending. So hopefully, when we play through this, I can just get the good ending and we can continue like next week. So I'm sorry about that. And A, you are first. Brown. That's what's up. About time. About time. All right, let's get started. All right, it's been 3 days since Shimio's defeat. Mashita and Sho have left, leaving only Christy and I at the mansion. We've not had any new mark bearers arrive, nor any new info on any spirits. Death footsteps keep drawing closer. I did. I killed the little girl by accident. Alright. Good work, Lady Christie and Lord Yashiki. Did you obtain any clues? No, nothing really. I'd hope, but I see. Lady Saya's study seemed optimal to contain something of interest. I felt so bad though because the little girl not only died, but I felt bad for the spirit because so much bad stuff happened to her. You're gonna find out in a minute, but so much like little bad things happened to her, and then I like destroyed her. So I was like, man, I'm not okay with this. Christy and I finished investigating Sayakujo's study. It had been full of mountains of specialized books and piles of reports. It was a daunting task, but we did our best to search through them regardless. Except it was all futile. Everything was about healing the spirit, nothing mentioned the mark at all. Hey, Mr. Yashiki. Don't you think it's useless to keep searching the mansion? You have any other ideas then? Well, remember what I said about H Shrine? Yeah, right, of course you would. I was thinking, maybe this shrine is connected to all this spirit stuff. That's what Shimio's notes said, right? Everything happening in the forest is the divine wrath of H Shrine. Then you think that the mark and the spirit activity are because of this divine wrath. It's definitely a possibility. Disasters happen in many ghost stories and myths because of the wrath of gods. Isn't there value in looking into it? Maybe. Exactly what I'd expect from you. Always so quick on the uptake. Christy is brimming with confidence. She seems in a much better mood than she was 3 days ago. She's a famous reporter, after all, so maybe this is what she's really like. So, Mary, I like to see H Shrine. You don't mind, do you? It is true many unpleasant rumors surround that forest. If that cause is H Shrine, there may be some clues there. But even if there are, If it's spiritual, then how are normal humans like us supposed to find them? Christy and I don't have spiritual powers. In that case, could you bring me along with you to H Shrine? I should be able to sense the presence of anything spiritual. I can act as a guide as well. You know that shrine? Yes. In truth, it enshrines the guardian deity of the Cujo family. Aw, man, it's the mask. It's the mask. Over the generations, the heads have taken care of the shrine. However, that came to an end after the recent war resolved. As one who serves the Cujos, I am concerned about its present state. Then bringing you along would mean I have to carry you, don't I? As it is impossible for me to walk, I would agree with that assessment. I am sorry to inconvenience you. An overgrown forest in the dead of night. I'm not looking forward to having to carry Mary all the way to the shrine. You look worn out, and we haven't left. It's a small price to pay if we can get any hints about the spirits. That's true. I think Mary's eager about this too, so I'll just have to deal with it, I suppose. Okay, let's go back to the forest. Alright. Right? Joe! Alright, let's... Alright, she's already my partner. We can leave. Before we leave, we put Mary in the back seat. Thank God she's not as heavy as she looks. I should be able to carry her just fine. By the way, Mr. Yashiki, have you read the files over there? She points to the right of the room and shelves packed with files. Not yet. I've searched most of the mansion, but I haven't checked the garage. Oh, really? Christy grabs a file and flips through the pages. Looks like articles on various crimes. The clippings cover every incident in H City and the surrounding area. Was Miss Cujo looking into criminal activity? Any of it looked related to the mark? No, not as far as I can tell. These are all extremely old. The most recent is dated 5 years ago. She puts the file back. As I was saying before, yeah, you notice that these past 3 chapters, everything that's happened, the disappearings, the people being killed and turned in like their ghosts, all this stuff takes place like 5 years ago. Like all of it, same time, 5 years ago. At different points in time though, like throughout the year, I guess, but 5 years ago. All right, we should head out soon. Yes. Oh my god. I park outside the entrance of the forest and gather Mary into my arms. We make our way to the familiar arch. There's still a long way to go. A middle-aged man carrying a doll. You're practically a ghost story yourself if someone sees you here. I am very sorry to cause you such trouble. Mary stares up at me as I hold her. Her skin, her hair glint bewitchingly when the light from the flashlight catches them. I have not been outside in a long time, and to go hiking in the arms of such a fine gentleman. This is a very precious experience. She sounds as dispassionate as ever, but is she actually having fun? Still, it is just as the rumors say. This forest is filled with the curses and resentment of the dead. Simply their presence is enough to drive the living mad. The land is tainted, and can see why it's given birth to monstrous spirits. I bet if you track down the cause of it, it'll be the divine wrath. Let's hurry to the shrine. Luckily, they're taking me there, because I hate this forest. We reach the old Torii gate with no trouble. We stand and watch for a while, but nothing comes out of the beehives. They seem to be sleeping. It is most likely because Shimio is now gone. 8 shrine is up those stone steps. At Mary's direction, we walk toward the gate. A small black shadow flints across our feet. It's that rabbit again. So this is the rabbit you told me about, Lord Yashiki. You are correct. It is very cute. The rabbit stares up at the two of us, then disappeared toward the shrine. What in the world was that about? What do you think, Mary? I felt a strange presence. It appears to be possessed by some kind of soul. So it's a spirit, too. Indeed. Though it does not appear strong enough to give marks to humans. We know nothing of its true nature, so please proceed with caution. We follow the rabbit under the Torii gate and up the stone steps. At the top, we find the wilderness creeping in. There doesn't seem to be anything here but an old altar. Is this 8 shrine? Sadly, it has fallen into disarray. Despair. The war was over 50 years ago. I suppose this was to be expected. The black rabbit is gone. Deserted shrines give me the creeps. Let's hurry up and get to searching so we don't stay here long. Headless Buddhist statues are buried in the ground. Creepy. I wonder what happened here. Yeah, that's really creepy. There's a sacred Shiminawa rope on a ragged boulder. I wonder if that boulder is Iwakura. Iwakura. What's that? According to ancient Shinto traditions, it's a sacred rock that a god descended on. It's not uncommon for the rock itself to become an object of devotion. It's a wooden shrine altar. A clouded old mirror serves as the Go Shintai. Looks like it's true that no one's taken care of this place for a long time. I peek inside the altar just in case, but all I find is a thick layer of dust. The Go Shintai's outside and the altar is empty. That's concerning. I don't think there's any more we can search. The Buddha statues concern me. Why are all the ones within the shrine missing their heads? Shinto and Buddhism were ordered to be separated during the Meiji period. Before then, many shrines were dedicated to both. 8 shrine was much the same, but in the Meiji period, there was a push to make Shinto the main religion. The faiths were forced upon. Extremists stole the Buddhist statues from shrines and desecrated them. Oh, the famous anti-Buddhist movement. So this is where that happened? No, it was done in a public space as they wanted to make a show of it. The broken statue The broken statues were carried here to serve as a memorial for worship. The Cujo family head was said to be aggrieved, so we moved them in secret. It seems that all the broken statues from the around H City were buried here. Strange. You said they were worshipped, but this place is pretty much a ruin. You have a keen eye, Lord Yashiki. The shrine was subsequently dug up and the statues were stolen. Dang. So they came all the way into the huge forest to carry off broken statues? Who would do something like that? That I do not know. I merely heard they were stolen 50 years ago, around the time of the war. So the statues were broken, thrown away, and then dug up. They say the Buddha has a wealth of patience, but even he'd get angry. Could that anger have turned to divine wrath and give birth to the mark in spirits? Mary, have you been able to feel the presence of any spirits or whatever? About that, this land is much more foreboding than I had imagined. The enmity of the forest swallows all else. It is hard to sense beneath it. So, too much background noise, right? Yes, although I do sense the same presence as Lady Christie's mark, however faint. I am sure the spirit that gave her the mark is somewhere in the forest. So after all that, we were only able to reconfirm something we already knew. Forgive me, I was unable to. You don't have to apologize, Mary. We learned plenty of value here. What do you mean? I'll tell you on the way back. First, let's get the heck out of here. This place gives me the creeps. Maybe it's the ill will Mary sensed. Don't make me walk all the way back. Okay, thank God. I was about to say, I hate this forest. We leave H Shrine walking down the beast trail toward the forest entrance. Maybe it's because of that strange tell, but for some reason I feel like someone is watching us from the darkness of the trees. Oh, man. We begin driving back to the mansion. As we break out of the dense forest, I can see building lights pop up here and there. Well, that was a complete waste of time. My anxiety lifted. I don't even bother to filter the words that slip out of my mouth. Oh, I don't think that's true. It's all coming together for me. Without further prodding, Christy starts in on her theory, passion evident in her voice. I believe Shimio was right. H Shrine is definitely what's causing all the strange stuff in the forest. I'm sure it's those stolen statues. Don't you agree? I wonder. If it feels like we just don't have enough info at this point, so to say one way or the other. But there's no denying that a lot of strange things are going on in that forest. Between all the suicides and Shimio wandering around, it couldn't just be coincidence, could it? If we research the shrine, we might learn more about the mark. I feel that's a lot safer than risking our lives looking for the spirit. Don't you think? You might be right. My replies are half-hearted, which isn't what Christy was hoping for, so she falls silent. An awkward, uncomfortable silence settles. Lord Yashiki, please stop the car. Mary speaks for the first time since we entered the car. What is it? I sense a presence similar to Lady Christie's mark close by. Dang. Do you know why we stopped the car? I don't know why we stopped the car. Yes. What? I sense an evil spirit. You sense an evil spirit. Following Mary's request, I park in a vacant rest stop on the outskirts of H City. Christy and I step out of the car. Ouch. Gah. What? Yo, gotta do it again. What? My Mark is settling, scolding. What's up? What's up? Is something nearby? Look, someone's over there. A small girl steps out of the telephone box. Why is a kid outside at this time of night? Thank you for bringing me out here this late at night, Ida. I got to talk with Hanayome. Oh yeah? Glad to hear it. The otaku boy. The otaku boy that loves freaking idol groups in anime and manga. A rather round young man appears, stepping out of the shadows. You got your question answered, Suzu? Yeah, it's okay now. Hanayome sure is amazing, though. She knows where everything is. You got that right. She helped me find my limited edition Love and Hero phone strap I dropped. What's Love and Hero? What? You don't know? They're a popular idol group here. They've been all over TV lately. I'm surprised you haven't heard. TV's restricted at home. Mom says it rots your brain. Oh, Ida. Is the bus coming soon? Oh, the last bus is on its way. We better go. We'll be in big trouble if your mom finds out we went out. Yeah. We watched from a distance for a while, but it's hard to determine their relationship. The pain from my scar is suddenly gone. Hey, Christy. What do you think? I turn, but Christy isn't there. Hey, you there. You just how do you know that girl? Depending on your answer, I'll report you for child abduction. Well, there goes Christy hounding the poor guy. Just calm down. I tried to placate her, but she won't budge. The man stumbled over his words. He looked flustered and overwhelmed. Hey, lady. Don't be mean to Ida. The girl rushes to stand defensively in front of him and glares at us. She seems a lot more level-headed than the flustered guy behind her. I asked him to help me, okay? I wanted to talk to Hanayome, so I had him come with me. Who's this Hanayome you keep mentioning? A ghost who helps find things. People say that you can talk to her from this telephone box. A ghost, huh? She looks at me. We're both thinking the same thing. Earlier the mark was hurting, so maybe... You guys look serious. What's going on? He nervously glances between us. Does this scar look familiar at all? I show them the mark on my right arm. Hey, hold on. What is this? That looks exactly like mine. He pulls off one of his gloves and reveals the mark on his hand. It's the cursed scar, yeah? I saw the article on it in UU Parts Monthly. They say it causes amnesia, even kills you. But that's nonsense. It's not all true, right? Right? Sounds like he'd heard the rumors but chose not to do anything about it. That's no surprise, really. It's tough to believe it's real until your memory loss starts becoming noticeable. I've got one of those too. It showed up on my left wrist when I made that phone call earlier. Pulling up her sleeve, she shows us her mark. They both have the mark, and after calling Hanayome, that's more than a coincidence. But we can't just leave them here. Let's bring them to the mansion. We tell them what's going on and ask them to go to Cujo Mansion with us. It surprisingly doesn't take much to get them to come. I thought it'd take more convincing. Could partially be because they missed the last bus while talking to us. Before they climb in, I warned Mary to stay quiet until we get back. I totally forgot she was in the car. I totally forgot she was in the car. Might be a bad idea to freak them out. Oh my goodness. First, we introduce ourselves. The man's name is Ida Nakamatsu, and the girl is Suzu Morimiya. They tell us that they met through the readers column in UU Parts Monthly. Suzu mentioned she was interested in Hanayome, and Ida told her what he knew. Then she pestered him into bringing her to the rumored telephone box. They were out this late because of her. Her parents sound pretty strict. Her mother keeps a close eye on her after school, and she needs permission to go out. So she snuck out of the house after her mother went to bed. Hanayome is just as famous at my school as Hanahiko is. So really, she's in elementary school, and basically Hanahiko was like the talk of like the little elementary school, I guess, of ghost stories and stuff. So that's crazy. Hey Ida, please tell them about those rumors. Do I have to? Okay, fine. Ida reluctantly tells us at Suzu's request. Here we go. They're just rumors I read, but that's crazy that this is just the start of chapter 3. Hey, remember that one story? You know, the one about the public phone box in H City? There's a ghost that looks like a bride, and she'll find what you're looking for. One of my friends actually tried it. He went to the specific phone box that lets you talk with ghosts. The phone box suddenly started ringing. He slowly picked up the phone. But all you could hear was this weird smacking noise. He stayed on the line until... Did you see it? He heard a woman whisper, so he did what the rumor said not to do and said, no, I haven't seen it. Then she said, what do you want to see? His cat had gone missing, so he asked where it was. When he looked where the woman said it really was there. So the rumors are totally true. I want to go ask her where my future bride is now. Oh, wanna come with me? I ain't coming with you nowhere. I'm not doing this mess. Playing with fire. There. You just put her back on the couch. I carry Mary from the car and gently place her back on the sofa. Being in your arms is not bad, but I am most calm when I am here. The doll really talked. I can't say I expected that. Then does that mean all that stuff about the mark is true too? On the way over, we updated Suzu and Ida with just about all they needed to know. They may not completely believe us, but they're not rejecting it outright either. It seems like Ida, in particular, has already experienced some memory loss. Something about forgetting the names of anime characters or voice actors. Christy looked at him strange, but he appears to be taking it quite seriously. And Suzu snuck out of her house because she believed the rumors about Hanayome. They both believed in the occult already. I'm pretty sure they'll help us find a way to escape the mark. Granted, they are also really curious about Hanayome. I do be stressing about voice actors and stuff because I get excited when I find characters that I like and I'm trying to figure out who voices them and who the voices are. And remembering anime characters in general on top of that. Pardon me, but may I ask, the marks on Suzu and Ida, they are likely from Hanayome. And Lady Christie, the feeling I sense from your mark is the same as theirs. So we can assume Hanayome also gave you the mark too. I read that totally wrong. Do you recall encountering her? Something weird did happen. Right before I entered the forest, I stepped in the phone box on T Mountain. The phone rang out of nowhere. Oh, it might be because of that. The telephone box at the rest area is also in the rumors of Hanayome. But I didn't pick it up. It creeped me out, so I left. I was never able to give that person one final call because of that. Who are you talking about? It is not for children to know. Fine. So there are other phone boxes like that? I think there are 3 that Hanayome will call from. The one we went to in the A Highway parking lot is one. And one is at T Mountain Rest Area. That's the one Miss Christie went to. And Ida, where's the last one? At the park by T apartment complex. It's the only one inside the city. But why just those 3 locations? Dunno. The BBS I read didn't say. Mister? Do you really think Hanayome is the one who gave us the marks? Of course. But the rumors about Hanayome go back 5 years. And no one's ever mentioned that if you call her, you'll get a mark. Suzu's right. Rumors about this mark thing only popped up super recently. So you're saying Hanayome hasn't always been giving out the mark? If that's true, I wonder what triggered the change. Of course, I can't really say, seeing as I don't know anything about spirits. A ghost helping people find what they are looking for, that's pretty strange. I mean, they do weird stuff like that. Just mess up and they kill you. Definitely the definition of ghost story. Hey, Mr. Yashiki, if those rumors are true, why don't we try asking where the stolen statues are? If we return them to their places, it might just save our lives. Search for the Buddha statues. If Christie's right, we might be able to escape the mark without fighting a spirit. Mary, what do you think? A good question. Objects with human forms are easily able to gain inexplicable powers. Bleeding stone statues, cursed dolls, there are many examples. Historical statues of gods and Buddhas would certainly be no exception. Asking Hanayome about them would be a good idea. So says the doll before our eyes that has inexplicable power to talk. Maybe it wouldn't be strange that Buddhist statues could bring down divine wrath. Maybe it wouldn't be strange that Buddhist statues could bring down divine wrath. Okay. Lord Yashiki, may I add, as I explained previously, your mark is different from the others. Vanquishing spirits seems to weaken your mark's power. It's been several days since she told me that I was going to die. Taking care of the spirits we encountered is likely how I'm still among the living. What are you trying to say? I cannot say what the relationship between your mark and Hanayome is, but it is true. It is in your best interest to track down spirits. I hope you will guide these mark bearers this evening as well. I can't really picture Christy and Ida facing off against the spirit by themselves. If they fail, then a child would suffer the deadly consequences. That would weigh heavily on me. It did yesterday. That crap was terrible. Super terrible. No turning back. I'll figure out something. Thank you. Mary bows her head slightly. Now, you should begin investigating Hanayome. Why does she only call from 3 public phones within H city? Her secret may lie in the answer. You've visited the parking lot already. Please investigate T Mountain and the Park by T apartment complex. Alright. New information was added to the spirit file, Rumors of Hanayome. We can carefully start reading these. Since we know that Christy has now gotten her mark from Hanayome because she made contact with the location, we're going to bring her along first. And then we're going to save this and put it in slot 3. And then we're going to exit. We're going to the rest area. Alright. The phone booth stands solitary on the edge of the vacant rest area. An endless sea of trees stand behind it. Christy must have run into the forest after she heard the phone ring. Oh yeah, so out in the back out here. I can hear a dog howl from nearby. It almost sounds sad, but I'm probably just imagining it. Christy doesn't seem bothered by it. She's completely focused on the phone box. I must have gotten my mark from Hanayome back then, but I was completely oblivious. I wasn't exactly in the right state of mind. Rumors say the phone is supposed to ring if you wait by it for a while. I'm guessing waiting outside doesn't count. Probably not. It only rang after I've stepped in it. But the booth is too small for 2 people. Either I or Christy will have to go. You aren't thinking I'll do it, are you? Dangerous jobs are best left to men. Okay, scaredy cat. Let's see. Alright, I'll just have to go in. It's cramped inside and almost impossible to move around at all. I'd be a sitting duck if a spirit attacked me while I am in here. The clouded glass makes it hard to see the outside, and that just makes me more nervous. I wonder how long I have to wait until the phone rings. To pass the time, I glance around at the inside of the booth. There's a poster attached to the window. Help our investigation. On the night of February 8th, 1990 blank, an assault took place in the forest nearby. If anyone has any info on this case, please notify H Police Department. This is dated 5 years ago. Looks like something terrible happened here. Oh God, oh God. The phone begins to ring. I hesitantly reach out and pick it up. The only sound I hear is the dial tone. No one is speaking. What's going on? Ooh. Suddenly there's a strange noise. Crunching, smacking like the sound of saliva as someone chews. Did you see it? Tucked in the smacking is a woman's voice. The voice is creepy, cold, and chills me down to the bone. Is this Hanayome? Did you see it? She asks a second time. The rumors mention that I should say, I haven't seen it. Very seriously, I say, I haven't seen it. What do you want to see? It's going exactly as the rumors said. Hanayome is supposed to tell you the location of whatever you are looking for. Christy told me to ask about the Buddha statues that were stolen from H Shrine. I'll give it a try. Buddha statues. Lord Buddha. Doesn't your arm already have the mark of the Buddha on it? Tell me, you want a new Buddha? Why are you doing that? Tell me. Well, tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me. Woo! Jesus. The line goes dead. Good God. The woman's scream is still ringing in my ears. Mine too. I feel sick. It must be because of my brush with the blood-curdling insanity. Why didn't she answer my question? What was different from when the others asked? Because you were asking about serious stuff, my guy. You asked about stuff that she was connected to. The mark on my arm burns dully, like it's reminding me it exists. Maybe this is why she was acting strangely. And she did say something to the effect that Buddha gave me this mark. Was she just too insane to differentiate between Buddha and a monstrous spirit? Or is this mark really the work of the divine wrath from the Buddha statues? I wait a while longer, but the phone doesn't ring again. There's no point in staying in here. Dude, I almost got messed up. As soon as I leave the booth, Christy comes up to me. You don't look well. What happened? Lady? I tell Christy about my conversation with Hanayome. What? That's not in the rumors. Christy's brow furrows in confusion. Should we go check out the other phone box for now? Maybe there's a clue there. We can also see if you can ask again. There's no time to get lost in thought. The last phone booth is at the park by T Apartments in the other direction. We'll head there after stopping at the mansion. It's probably wise to ask Mary what she knows since it's on the way. New information was added to the spirit file, the second phone box. Alright, now we get to leave here. Get the heck up out of here. Cujo Mansion. Yes. Alright. Let's save our game. We'll talk to Mary. I tell Mary what happened at the phone box. You say Hananome acted strangely. She called the spirit that cursed you with your mark Buddha. I cannot say I know what she saw, but from what you said, she will likely not respond to your question. That does not mean she does not understand you, however. Use any method available to obtain as much information as you can. Alright. We can check our bag, and we can look at the Hanayome. Out of 5, okay. So, rumors of Hanayome. With the end of the 90s, online infrastructure has advanced the popularity of a certain widely used BBS. Hanayome is an urban legend that sprung up from the BBS. It goes as follows. Certain telephone booths in H City will let you talk to ghosts. If you go inside one and wait, the phone will suddenly ring. Pick it up and you'll hear a strange lip-smacking noise. A woman will ask, "Have you seen it?" Rumors say you're supposed to reply with, "I haven't seen it." She'll respond with, "What do you want to see?" Someone actually followed the instruction and was able to find a missing pet. What a strange tale. A lot of people are interested in this ghost, wanting to find things or people who've become lost, but not a single one has ever mentioned getting a mark from her. But the circumstances seem to imply this spirit gave the mark to Ida and Suzu. Plus, why is this spirit called a bride? If she appears as a bride, then someone must have seen her. The first phone box. 3 phone boxes in H City let you speak with a ghost. One seems to be the one Ida and Suzu used. It shouldn't take long to reach the other 2 by car. I'm concerned about the statues stolen from H Shrine too. If Hanayome really can tell us where they are, that would save us a lot of time. There's only one way to find out. The second phone box. In the booth is a poster looking for info on a crime that happened nearby. The phone rings while I'm distracted, just like the rumors. When I pick up, a woman answers, smacking her lips, but I can't get info on the statues from her. For some reason, she's behaving different from what we were told to expect. Oh, excuse me. There's one more telephone booth. We better check it out too. Alright. Cool. It doesn't really... I don't think it really matters. We're taking Christy again. Save on slot 3. Exit. And this time we go to the park. We go to the park. I see a small park tucked between all of the looming apartment buildings. There's no one here. I guess everyone's already asleep. They said this was the phone booth from the Hanayome rumors. Hanayome rumors, right? Would a spirit really appear in the middle of the city like this? Well, now that I'm here, I still have no idea why Hanayome hung up on me. I followed the rumors exactly. You're asking something specific that she is attached to. Someone or something, the divine wrath, I'm guessing. I'm sorry. Ooh, excuse me again. But, so to speak, the divine wrath are giving these spirits these marks and giving them to people. So she's like, you're asking too many questions, my guy. That's why. Where did I go wrong? I scratched my head. Oof. Don't adhere to the gossip. Defy it. Don't adhere to the gossip. Defy it. I suddenly hear that strange voice again. Gossip. In other words, the rumors. What will happen if I don't follow the rumors? So we have to go in this phone booth and do the opposite of what the rumors told us to do. Christy, go back to the car. Go get in the car. There's something I want to try. But it might end up backfiring on me. Sure. I don't know what you're going to do, but please be careful. And I almost forgot. I have a message from Ida. Yeah? It's about the latest information on Hanayome from the BBS. Take a look. Alright. Christy hands me a note written by Ida. Don't talk about eyes or things like it when you're on the phone with Hanayome. If the call goes sideways somehow, don't say I, okay? P.S. Best to avoid anything that even sounds like I. What? Don't say I. This is it? Yeah, that's all. Anyway, Ida said he was sure it would come in handy. I'll keep it in mind. Christy returns to the car. Oh, God. Inside this booth is really creepy. I step inside and wait for the phone to ring. There's a poster in this booth. There's a poster in this booth, too. Just like the one at the rest area. This looks like it's been here for a few years. Young woman kidnapped. A young local woman was kidnapped close to this location. If you were a witness to this crime, please notify the police. MPD. February 8th, 5 years ago. I think the poster I saw at the rest area had the exact same date. Coincidence? The phone rings. I grab the receiver and slowly pick it up. I hear a noise like someone chewing gum from the other end of the phone. An icy cold voice speaks. Did you see it? Ugh! I saw it. Woo! You saw, didn't you? You saw that thing of me. Good God. The voice cuts off. Ah! Something collides violently with the glass of the booth, but I can't see it. Live or die. Tell me, how did you see it? With your own eyes or eyeglasses, a telescope? I saw it with telescope. First two are wrong. Eyeglasses. My own eyes. Wrong. Jesus. It sounds like something searching around outside the phone booth, the phone box. You saw it. You said you saw it. What color? A beautiful color? Red? Pink? Green? Pink? Pink? Maybe pink? I think it was red. I couldn't get the last one. You saw it. What kind of person are you? What's important to you? Your dreams, romance, love, which do you choose? Romance. Definitely my dreams. I believe in love. Yeah. First and third were wrong. First and third were wrong. Okay, go. Survived. Good God. The phone goes dead. The next I know, the bloody handprint is gone, and so is the ominous presence. The questions she asked me were strange. She was practically anxious about what I had seen. I think I did a good job not mentioning anything like eyes in my answers. Overly cautious over being seen. Maybe that's where her secret lies. Ooh. Run out that bad boy. I exit the booth and Christy rushes up to me. My mark started hurting out of nowhere. Did it go all right? I tell Christy about what happened in the telephone booth. I have no idea what that means. Guess there's no way she'd know the answer. Something's on the ground there. Sure enough, there's a folded up piece of paper lying near the booth. Looks like a piece of stationery. I don't think it was there before I went into the phone box. I pick up the paper and open it. To Seiko, I'll dispel all of your heartache. So forget that horrible incident and take your quiet rest up in heaven. An incident? The posters I saw in the telephone booths mentioned something like that too. Could they be connected? I asked Christy what they mean or what they think. Christy looks deep into thought. What is it? Oh, nothing. Well, we've checked out all the boxes, so let's head back to the mansion. Something still bugs me, though. Yeah. We should probably head back for now. New info added to the spirit file. The third phone box. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, hey Mr. Yashiki. You know those posters and that bit of stationery we found. Could they be linked to Hanayome? She might have been someone who was caught up in the incident and killed. And if that's the case, then... Christy turns towards the shelves with files. Files full of articles on criminal cases. The dates were 5 years ago, right? Then there might be an article on what happened here in these files. We could use more help. Maybe Ida and Suzu could give us a hand. Go ahead and call them over. All four of us begin reading through files. The clippings range from the smallest dispute to the most heinous crime in H City. But they're all dated 5 years ago or earlier. Did they get stored in the garage because they're so old? After a while, I found it. The victim's name is Seiko. The date is February, 5 years ago. Gotta be it. Christy lays the file out on the desk and we all peer at it. There she is down there. The file has articles about an incident that happened 5 years ago. The victim's name was Seiko Hasegawa. Apparently she committed suicide in the forest by H Castle on the eve of her wedding, so the day before her wedding. She was in her dress when she was found. Suzu, you probably shouldn't read anymore. It's pretty bad. Thanks, Ida. But I want to know more about Hanayome. I feel like I need to do this. She's cringing, but she sounds determined. Between this and sneaking out at night, she's a surprisingly brave kid. It's rather odd for someone her age. I remember now. This happened back when I used to be a news anchor. Christy mutters just loud enough to hear. Then do you know the whole story? It was horrible. It's hard to recount. A woman was abducted by a gang while she was walking her dog. They brought her to the forest and assaulted her. People found her battered and staggering along the road the next day. The dog was run over and killed near the forest when it chased after them. That's horrifying. Yeah, but that wasn't the end of Seiko Hasegawa's misfortune. Ida somberly cuts in. His usual grin is nowhere to be found. It's well known in some circles, but her assault was photographed. The pictures were sent to her fiancé. They threatened to make them public if he didn't pay up. I heard he gave them a ton of money to get the photos and the negatives. Is that true, Christy? Yeah, I heard that as well. Because of all that, Miss Seiko had a mental breakdown, and in the end, she hung herself. She'd been a serious, honest woman, so she just couldn't bear it. The cruel fate of a woman attacked before her wedding. We fall silent as that reality weighs on us. Suzu timidly speaks up, her face pale. Maybe there's a connection between what happened to Miss Hasegawa and Hanayome's phone boxes. According to the article, the incidents that wrecked her life took place near each phone box. She was abducted by the park and assaulted by the rest area. She was found wandering near the parking lot by a highway. The phone booth connect Hanayome and Seiko Hasegawa. The coincidence sends a shiver down my spine. So, that note we found by the telephone booth, did Seiko's fiancé write it? Most likely. What's strange is it was there and not where she committed suicide. Did Hananome put that there? Maybe she was telling us something. I have no clue how spirits think, but if Suzu's right, then that note is an important clue for us. I seem to recall Miss Seiko's fiancé was a famous musician. As a result, the case was widely publicized at the time. It happened right after they returned from a romantic trip to Greece. Old ladies were sobbing about how it made it all the more tragic. And the poor dog they brought on their trip died heroically as well. Where's the fiancé now? Well, he began acting strange due to the shock and then went missing. Some say her suicide was to follow him. But he wasn't the only one who disappeared. It sounds like all of the culprits went missing too. You hear about that online too? Well, something like that. The internet wasn't the same back then. They were only hubs. Hubs, like pre-internet chat rooms? Everyone was talking about it on the occult hub back then. There was one person in the community who knew way too much. I think he was one of the culprits. He brought up a bunch of things, like taking pictures and all that. And I bet those were pictures of the assault. Yeah, that's right. After they were finished, those buttholes got a camera out and took pictures of her face soaked with tears. Woo! Jesus Christ. The whole time she yelled, "Don't look, don't look." Don't look, huh? Hanayome has an extreme reaction to being seen by others. He kept going on about it night after night until he suddenly stopped posting. People who knew him said they couldn't contact him at all. Those guys deserve to die, but it's still creepy, you know? Suddenly, a line from the note pops into my head. I'll dispel all of your heartache. Hey, Christy, do you happen to know exactly where in the forest Seiko killed herself? I was a reporter at the time, so I did go to the location, but that was 5 years ago, so I don't remember exactly. I feel like I went west from that big arch at the entrance. So, you're really going to go? Yeah, we might be able to figure out something about Hanayome. Fine, I understand. I've had my fill of that forest, but I suppose we have no other leads. I'm sick of the forest too, Jesus. New info was added to the spirit file. Gathering info at the mansion. Alright, let's go back in here. And we have to save. Alright, cool. Suzu, I'm gonna pick Suzu. She was my partner. She helped me out in the forest in the previous, so it's important that we bring her. Because that was crazy. Alright, let's go over the files. Alright, the third phone box. Hanayome is acting even more strangely than before. She seems anxious about being seen, or eyes in general. It's impossible to be sure since it's only over the phone. Plus, the note we found outside the booth is disconcerting. To Seiko, I'll dispel all of your heartache, so forget that horrible incident and take your quiet rest up in heaven. Gathering info at the mansion. The garage shelves contain files on accidents and crimes within H City. From decades old to just a few years ago, we all search through them and find a case with a victim named Seiko Hasagawa, the person mentioned in the note. The details of her case are sickening. About the assault of a woman in H City. The victim was abducted by a group as she was walking her dog in the forest while awaiting her wedding day. She was found by a phone booth along the highway the next day. But that's not all. The culprits photographed the assault and blackmailed her fiancé with the photos for money. A few days later, all of the stress caused her to kill herself. Her fiancé went missing afterwards, with people believing he also committed suicide. Christy investigated the case back then. She says the fiancé was a famous musician. To Seiko, I'll dispel all of your heartache. Those words bother me. But there's something else too, and that's the fact that the culprit also went missing after she died. The ghastly case and still unable to gain full closure. The phone box that guided us to the case, the fact that the woman hung herself, wore a wedding dress, the connections to the forest by H Castle. The other mark bearers won't like it, but we need to go back to the forest. But why am I so sure of that? There's so much happening. Alright, so we got her. That. Save one last time. Exit. Forest we go. Hearing her speak, I had an impression that she had been raised well, but hold on one second, because my phone is literally about to die. Sorry about that. My phone was legit dying. Oops. Hearing her speak, I had an impression that she had been raised well, but now that I'm out alone with her like this, it's not just that. Oops. She's, how do I put it? This is a little late, but I hope we get along. Should I call you Mr. Yashiki? No, just, Mr. is fine. Having you call me by my first name is kinda... I'm sorry. That was rude of me. That's right. She's strangely mature. Suzu? Is it alright if I call you that? Yes, just Suzu is fine. Okay. So what do your parents do? Yeah, it's kind of out of the blue to ask that, but we might be in some life and death situations. Even if she's just a kid, I like to know what kind of person she is. Right now, I'm only living with my mom. She pushes herself every day. Pushes herself. Does that mean she's a career woman who works hard at her job? I see. Sorry for the random question. Not at all. She lives alone with her mother, who works every day. Which means she's basically living alone. That must be why she's so mature. Ouch! What the heck was that? Just then the tires hit a bump in the road. I can see a square gray object in the back seat through the rearview mirror. Is that thing back there yours? No, that's Ida's. He said it was a CD radio cassette player. A radio cassette player? Why? He said we might need music while we drive. Want to listen to something? No, I'll pass. The conversation grinds to a halt after that. It's like there's an invisible person between us. After falling silent a while, Suzu finally speaks up again. It only makes sense for the conversation to turn one direction. This Mark. Did Hanayome really do this? I don't know for sure, but I think that's the natural assumption. Oh, I guess so. Suddenly it dawns on me. Why does this kid not want to treat the spirit like it's evil? No, maybe it's just Hanayome specifically. But that woman would be the best. What would? I mean, if Hanayome were really a nice spirit. Yeah, you're right. Her grin at me is relieved. I smile back at her stiffly, a weight in the pit of my stomach. If that's really true, then we can get through this without anyone dying. The problem is, that's impossible. I lightly rub my wrist as I watch Suzu smile out of the corner of my eye. Yeah, I really hope so. I didn't want nobody dying either. I didn't want her dying. Huh? We're gonna go in the forest? Suzu is understandably terrified. Anyone would be in her shoes. No one wants to go into the dark forest at night. Especially a famous suicide spot. We'll be okay so long as we're careful. I don't believe what I said for a minute. It's just something you say at times like these. Yeah, sure. Okay. It's supposed to be west of the gate. I look at the west of the gate again. But there's no sign of a trail. Suddenly, Suzu's face stiffens. What's wrong? It just got cold. Woo! I follow their gaze and see a low shadow dashing out from the darkness. Somebody... I'm not even gonna tell you who this looks like. You can let me know in the comments right now who you think this looks like to you. And why this makes me so upset. A dog? It certainly seems like one. It kicks up the dirt with 4 legs. But it looks off somehow. Its fur is long and disheveled. And from certain angles, its face looks human. The dog stares at us, growling softly. What is it? Are you trying to tell us something? Mom says you're not supposed to talk nice to dogs like that. She says to be firm, like its master. That's how you train them. If you give it attention, the dog will think it has power over you. So ignore it and stay quiet, huh? I guess that's true for humans too. Powerful people tend to ignore others. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. The dog barks loudly, then vanishes into the western underbrush. The moment it's gone, the chill in the air dissipates like it was never there. Was it trying to tell us that we should go that way? Maybe. I wish they stopped letting him move the flashlight on his own, because that creeps me out really bad. I shine the flashlight on the spot where the dog disappeared. A now familiar pain shoots through my wrists. Ooh, my God. The mark's color grows more vivid. A few hours left until death closes in. Ooh. There's probably not much time left. We better hurry. Let's check the brush. Blech. Let's check the bushes over there. New info added to the spirit file. Investigating the forest again. Alright. Shush. Alright, let's do it. There's a thicket of trees next to the gate. With the dog gone, I push my way into the underbrush. I spot the traces of what used to be a path. You could barely call it one at this point. This must be the closed hiking trail. The path goes west from the gate. It's really here. Was it trying to tell us about it? Who knows? Anyway, let's get going. We're about halfway there. Or, so to say, the halfway point. Nothing. But to be honest, we've done this already. Ooh. Feel. I push the grass aside and pick it up. A worn out talisman. When I pick it up, the worn out talisman, I feel warmth flow through me. Ew. Soul power. The worn out talisman crumbles slightly in my hand. Alright. Ooh. I'm pretty sure that this is the spot where she hung herself. I feel around the blades of the grass. Instant camera. Right. I've hit the switch before I realize, and a red light appears. Apparently that means that the flash can be used. Does it still work? Yeah, looks like it. I turn it off and quickly stuff it in my bag. I decide it's wise to not mention the dried blood that's stuck on the bottom of it. Oof. To see is to perceive light. To see, it is to perceive light. The distant voice echoes in my head. True, seeing something means you're seeing the light it's reflecting. But what does that have to do with Hanayome? It's the camera that they took pictures of her with, my guy. Get it together. New info was added to the spirit file around the tree covered in photos. Yeek. There we go. I shine the light on the grove of trees in front of us and catch a glimpse of something odd. Mister, what's that? Something stuck to the tree. Something stuck to the tree over there. I can't make it out from here. I move forward for a closer look. Yikes. What is this? You know we have to assess this. Alright. Obviously, we can already tell right off rip that this is probably the group of dudes that assaulted her. And they are missing. And in the last episode when I played it already, so you notice that the nails in the pictures are like stuck in their eyes, like it's gouged out and stuff. It's pretty creepy. Especially that one. This is freaking... They got what they deserve, though, that's for sure. All thought in my mind cease. It's as if I'm unable to process what I'm seeing and my brain comes to an halt. Are these photos? There are a bunch of pictures of different people posted to the tree. But they are all... what is it? Why do all the eyes have nails? It's just as Suzu said. For some bizarre reason, each photo has a person with nails driven through their both eyes. Attached to the nails is some kind of tape. Cold sweat drips down my back. What kind of grudge causes someone to do something like this? All of the pictures, they are all men. Suzu mutters are just loud enough to hear. Huh? I look over the photos again. A good number of them are deteriorated, so they're hard to make out, but they may be right. Yeah, looks like it. All these subjects are men. That's clearly not a coincidence. Woof. I feel a little dizzy and step back. Through my blurry vision, something flashes in the light from the flashlight. Huh? Is something wrong? Nothing. It's just over there. Something sparkled up there. Something might be there. We should check it out. All the way up. Something's up in the branches of the tree, is reflecting light. Something must be stuck in the branches. The only way we'll be able to catch it, to check it out, is to climb up the trunk. You're going to climb the tree? There aren't any cavities, knots, or branches within reach. It'll be hard to climb up it. So... Hey, we're gonna have to boost the partner up, my guy. If that's all, then... Okay, I'll try. I squat at the base of the tree and let her climb up on me. Up you go. I stagger a bit, but manage to stand. I feel like I'm one of the trees now. Can you reach? Just a little to the right. I'm almost there. Yeah. Ouch. Suzu reaches as far as she can with her hand, and I lose my balance. We both crash to the ground. Are you okay? I'm fine. Here. Suzu shows me her hands. It's holding the object that was stuck in the branches. Got dog collar. A collar? It makes me think of that dog we saw before coming here. Does this belong to that dog? I wonder who threw it away. Who knows? As I'm putting it away in my bag, I spot an inscription on the inside of the collar. Renta. How are you supposed to pronounce that? New info was added to the spirit file. The picture's on the tree. Alright. Let's take a look at our bag too, because I was making whole mistakes. I'm not reading these as I go, as they show up. Alright. We got 3. Investigating the forest again. Upon our return to the forest, a strange dog appears. It growls at us before disappearing into the western thicket. Christy says the place she checked in the past was in the west also. Still, that dog didn't look natural. I suppose that's a good sign, since we're chasing after a spirit. But the mark warns that the time is short. We have to hurry. Ugh. The picture's on the tree. In the west side of the forest, we find a tree covered in strange photos of men. And they all have large nails driven deep into their eyes. They're likely all dead. Is it some kind of warning that men will be killed? I spot something when I look up into the tree. It's hard to get down, but it turns out to be a dog collar. Does it belong to the dog we saw at the entrance? In branches of the tree. The article on Seiko we found in the garage said that the body of her pet dog was found in the forest. Was it killed chasing after the culprits? It seems she even brought it on her trip to Greece with her fiancé right before she was abducted. It looks like the dog's name is on the collar, but how do you pronounce that? Doesn't look like English. Like, you just look. I know what it is, though. Around the tree covered in photos. In the bushes below the tree, I found a dirty instant camera. The back reads, "Take a picture, flash included." That voice then whispers to me again. To see is to perceive light. Light. Things that emit light. The camera. I bet Seiko Hasegawa detested that light. Yep, so you know that you use that as a defense mechanism to fight her off because of the camera. She doesn't like the camera. So see, it's important to read these throughout because obviously they give you hints on what you're supposed to be doing. And me, I kind of messed up in the end, so it's kind of hard, but I already know now, I think. Ooh. I hear a low growl from somewhere. I can't see what's making it, but it seems to be watching me. Oh, we did see that dog at the gate. I'm not sure why, but I feel an instant hostility directed towards me. What should we do? The instant Suzu speaks. Ah! Oh, the growling grows distinctively quieter. I remember the photos. All of them were men with nails in their eyes. Woo! I don't know what that has to do with the dog, but if those pictures demonstrate the hatred that saturates this place, if I'm with Suzu, it might react differently. This is why it's important to have the girls in the party. Otherwise, we would die instantly. Because obviously, if you put two and two together, the dog was killed by all those men that attacked his owner. So obviously, it doesn't like men. So if I brought another guy, it would probably just straight instantly kill us. It wouldn't matter if we picked any options if we get into a fight. I consider my options. You show the collar. I've got an idea. I take the collar out of my bag. Maybe. Ugh. It's a safe bet, but the spirit was born here, so the dog is likely tied to this collar. I face the general area the barking is coming from and show it the collar. Woo! The dog appears like a gust of wind. Whoa! Before I can blink, it steals the collar from me. Ooh. Live or die. When I tried to quickly jump away, I hear Suzu call out to me. Mr. Yashiki, don't move. But I don't catch the rest of it. The dog rushes at me so fast it looks like it's gliding over the ground. You stand still. You stand still. You stand still. You don't run from the dog. You don't run from the dog. It would see you as prey. The dog stops in his tracks. It seems confused that I'm not reacting and just standing still. It shuffles back on its guard, then prepares to attack again. We're safe. It bares its teeth and growls. Nope. You turn your back. You have to turn your back. I break my gaze and turn my back to it. I pretend not to hear it threatening me. It growls for a while until it abruptly stops. We're safe. We're safe. The dog holds the collar in its mouth and stares at me. That collar has an inscription on it, doesn't it? I'm sure it said... It looks like Renta, but I already, like, you know what it is. What should I call it? Ooh. Genta. I mutter the name, Genta. The dog perks its ears. I say it again, this time more clearly. Then, we're safe. The dog turns around quietly, slinks into the brush. It disappears from sight. Oh my god. So like that second answer though, which is weird. They do it in a lot of dog training. With dogs that are like very jumpy and, you know, just super hyperactive, and I wouldn't say like super aggressive, but excuse me again, but aggressive. You do turn your back, like you kind of just like turn away, like really give them the cold shoulder, and I kind of took that into account. And the Renta, for me, it looks like a G only because of how the freaking tick marks looked. So I knew for a fact it couldn't just be like an L, and the other one was just the second answer wasn't even like the right answer. So process of elimination. It's Genta. Seems I somehow managed to escape death. Survived. I pick up the collar that was left behind and sigh deeply. Are you okay? Yeah, that was... I can't even say it was no big deal. My words simply trail off. That's all I can answer with. I pat myself down with my hands, but I don't seem to be injured anywhere. I did feel teeth biting into my hand when the collar was snatched from me, though. That dog may be supernatural. I hope it doesn't attack again. I think we'll be fine. It found what it was looking for. You're right. It was looking for its collar that its owner gave him. Ooh. Jesus. Creepy. A sound like a rope creaks above my head. Silhouettes swing in the shadow of the trees. My whole body shudders with dread. Are those people? Suzu gives a terrified yelp. Speechless, I shine my flashlight on them. They clearly aren't people. They are mannequins. The things hanging by their necks from the trees are display mannequins you can find in any department store. Obviously, dolls cannot commit suicide. Is this someone's idea of a prank, or maybe a warning to intruders? The only one who knows the truth would be whoever did this. Let's go. I don't think they're dangerous. They're only mannequins. Okay. Suzu replies uneasily. But before either of us take a step forward, I feel like a shaky hand gripping onto me. Stop moving the flashlight on your freaking own. It scares me. A doll is mercilessly hanging by its neck. Grabbing onto it stops it from swaying. I open a hand and take what's inside. Yeah, worn out talisman. Ooh. We know about the soul power. A male doll is hanging from a tree. I wonder what the person who did this was thinking. The dolls swing unceasing from unceasing. You know what? Blah, blah, blah. From their ropes, even though there is no breeze. Unceasingly. Jesus. The sound of it, though, is making me uneasy, though. Like, it's just creepy in my ear. Ooh. Yes, doggy. It's that dog. Suzu, be careful. No, it's okay now. It won't attack anymore. It's that dog from before. It starts digging in the dirt right in front of us. After a few moments, it disappears like mist. What was it doing? Is there something over there? Let's take a look. It's the place where that dog was digging. Yep. I reach out and touch the dirt, but the texture under my hand surprises me. Huh? The dirt around here is soft. Almost as if something was buried. Give me a hand. You're going to dig here? I don't think we'll need any tools. Please. Okay. In silence, we kneel in this forest in the middle of the night and dig up the dirt with our hands. I feel like I'm robbing a grave. It could be that those words popped into my head because I somehow knew what we'd find. Distracted. Aww. I looked down on what we dug up. We find is a corpse. It's just a skeleton now, but it doesn't look that old. Is that a corpse? Yeah. My reply sounds incredibly flat and uncaring even to me. At some point, death has become familiar. That fact and not the corpse is what sends a shiver down my spine. I'm too comfortable with the world of the dead. I know this, but I can't escape it. One part of me observes the remains before us and reacts calmly. Just then, I notice something. What's that? There's something white in the skeleton's hand. Alright. I dug it out and discover it's a plastic bag. Inside are a number of cassette tapes and some kind of note. The note's deteriorated, but parts of it are legible. I killed them all. One's assault you. Now you rest in peace. What needed to be done. Now I die here. This forest, you passed away. New song, want, listen, heaven. The note ends there. Got 3 cassette tapes. That sounds like a suicide note, doesn't it? But these tapes... She looks at the cassette tapes. Why were they buried too? They look at the remains as if they are asking them the question. Of course it's not going to reply. I don't know. I trail off. A different voice is whispering in my mind. The last. The last. The voice falls silent. The last? Wait a second. The last what? Huh? Is something the matter? I didn't say anything. It's nothing. Sorry. Just talking to myself. Anyway, let's take these tapes with us. New info added to the spirit file. Unidentified suicide victim. Alright, we need to look at the bag first, because this is where it all goes crazy, because it goes downhill from here. Like, it goes by so fast. Alright. So that's the tree. Unidentified suicide victim. We find a skeleton buried in the ground with a worn suicide note and cassette tapes. Strangely enough, the contents of the note match up with the rumors of the fiancé's death and what was in the other note. This is just a guess, but if I'm right, the songs on these tapes probably contain his thoughts and feelings. If the corpse is her fiancé, then the tapes may have songs he made or ones that are meaningful to them. So then what was the whisper of the last trying to tell me? Did he want his fiancé to hear the last song? The dog that guided us is definitely the ruined form of the beloved pet. If I can manage to collect all of this together when I face Hanayome. Well, yeah, he's saying if I can connect all of these together when he faces her. All right. No. Okay, I was about to say we need to go into the bag. All right. Instant camera. I forgot that I stopped doing these, like assessing the items, the tools. I feel like I need missing steps, because this is how you mess up. An instant camera with dry blood on the bottom. There is film in it, and the battery for the flash still has a charge, so it can be used to take photos. If they come out is questionable. You take a picture. All right, dog collar. We know the dog collar has the name of their pet engraved on it, but these are what we need. All right, an old cassette tape found buried with a corpse in the forest. It had been wrapped in a plastic bag, so it's in good shape and could be playable. The word my can be read on the smudge label. An old cassette tape found buried with the corpse. It had plastic bag. The words Echo Ballad can be labeled on it. Okay, it's not really saying anything. So, my Echo Ballad charm song. It seems like this is ordered if you put it together. My charm song, Echo Ballad. My Echo Ballad charm song. I believe it's to be this order. My Echo Ballad charm song. I'm going to go with that. And there we go. Oof. The mark burns scarlet. Half an hour left until death closes in. Holy God. Gah. Out of nowhere, my mark flares up painfully, the intense pulsing setting my nerves on fire. Crap. Are we out of time? I bite my lip and look at Suzu. Suzu? Suzu, hey, can you hear me? Yeah. It's finally here. It all starts now. Woo! I grab Suzu and run. It literally picks her up and like literally makes a beeline out of the forest. He's like, no, we need to get the heck out of here like right now. The spirit is closing in on us. All right. Did I get in the car to go somewhere? Regardless, I'm here inside it, gripping the wheel. The mansion. I need to go back there for now. I glance through the rearview mirror and Suzu in the back seat. Suzu is staring vacantly out the window with a slightly tilted head. The only thing out there is darkness. There's nothing to look at. Ida's tape player is lying on its side in the passenger seat. I grabbed it from the back, meaning to play one of those tapes. We quickly arrive at Kujo Mansion. Even if I discuss it with Mary, it's probably best to listen to a tape first. I reach for one, but as I do, I notice something odd. Ooh! Where are we? I'm on an unfamiliar road, like I took a wrong turn somewhere. No, it's unfamiliar. It's not unfamiliar. I've clearly been down this road before, but the route I was taking should have had no way for me to come across this road. That's the only way I can describe it. It's impossible. Jesus. Calm down. I must have made a mistake because I was messing around with the tape player. I wouldn't get lost on the way to the mansion. I've been to it so many times now. I just missed the first intersection and ended up somewhere strange, that's all. That's what I tell myself as I make a U-turn. But no matter how many times I go back... Woo! Jesus Christ. Dang it, why am I here again? Good God. No matter how I turn, I end up on the same road. Right, left, or keep going straight, I still return to the exact same place. This is ridiculous. I hit the steering wheel. Maybe it was because of my outburst. My mark starts burning with pain again. This is bad. Really bad. At this rate, death will catch up to us while we're here in the car. Having said that, we can't go back to the mansion. I don't think we'll be able to get out of this maze no matter how many times I try. In that case, what should I do? Where should I drive? We'll go to T-Mountain. I turned the steering wheel in the direction of the place that popped into my head. T Mountain. It's not that I have to go there. The destination isn't important, so as long as it gets me out of this situation. I hit the gas pedal and abruptly turned the wheel, trying to get out of this cursed trap. Finally. Familiar scenery returns as if it was laying in wait for me. Oh my. Okay. I see, because if you really think about it, this is... Maybe it does matter, maybe it doesn't matter, because 3 of those locations were the location of her incidents, each incident. So where did the other one I picked? The other one I picked at the apartments, I think. And this is the area where the incident happened, so to speak. And I forgot the other one. The other one was where they found her walking around, I think. In the end, we're back here. Ooh. The phone is ringing. I know exactly who's calling. Oh, the mark is dyed a deep crimson. A few minutes left until death closes in. We're fighting now. I head to the phone booth. I've got Ida's radio cassette player and the bag holding Seiko's memories at the ready. I pick up the receiver, but the phone immediately goes dead. Oh! Ow! Yo. God dang. Live or die. This is crucial. Jesus. You saw, didn't you? I know you saw it. Camera. Option 3. I quickly grab the instant camera and use the flash. The spirit shrieks, and while it's distracted, I tumble out of the booth. I'm safe. Once out, I spot out of the corner of my eye. Hey, new Bart! Yes, here comes the bride. Here comes the bridge. Here comes the bridge. Probably not the safest thing to say due to the circumstances. The spirit's standing there looking down at me. Oh my god, look at her. The camera's battery is dead. What should I do next? Charm song. I stick Charm song into the tape player and press the play button. Oh my god. Listen often, dear. The spirit responds to the song. Oh my god, stop getting closer. The spirit quietly drifts closer. What should I do next? Charm song, echo ballad. I stick echo ballad into the tape player and press the play button. Oh. I love. The spirit responds to the song. Ooh! Get out of... Get... The spirit quietly drifts closer. What should I do next? You saved the song for last. Is it technically the last one? Oh, they're serious. Like, yes. I stick my into the tape player and press the play button. I don't know this one. The spirit responds to the song. No, get away from me. Get away from me, ma'am. Oh, God. I am so sorry, but you got a mouthful of eyeballs in your mouth and you look like a cartoon character. The spirit is right in front of me. Hey, let me listen to the newest. What? Is that the newest? I stick my into the tape player and press the play button. Yes. Oh my God. That song was finished. The dog comes bounding over from somewhere, barking happily. Ah! A dog comes bounding over from somewhere, barking happily. Gen, is this where you've been? Come on, let's go. He's waiting. Yes! Oh my God, that was so confusing. That was so confusing. I had to switch that mess up. I switched my options up at the last second. There's a flash of light. I blink and the spirit is gone. We survived! Newbard, I survived. I survived. I don't sense Hanayome anymore. She's gone now. Hanayome. Suzu is back to normal. I bet their mark's gone. But of course yours is still there. But mine's still bright on my arm. I don't think she was the scariest, but she is the saddest. She is the saddest. I felt bad. You missed yesterday's stream. Because I went through that whole thing and I ended up getting the bad ending on accident. So I was like, oh my God, because I messed up in the end. So I felt really ultra bad. Because not only that I felt really bad for the spirit, but I killed her, man. I killed her. And I didn't know she brought her dog. So like that makes me happy. So, and then the girl died. The little girl died. I was like, no. I was like, I didn't want the child dying. I was like, no, that sucks. But I had some problems anyway with the files because I tried to fix what I did. And I ended up erased everything. So I had to quickly start 2 hours before stream to get back to this chapter. And then this is me playing it all the way through again. But this time I ended up doing it right. So we're in the right. We're in the right. I guess Hanayome didn't give me my mark after all. Then Hanayome really was Seiko Hasagawa. What a sad, terrible fate, turning into a ghost after she died. I feel sorry for her. I did too. I felt really sorry. And I'm so happy. And she got her dog back. And her dog got to be with her. And then they both get to be with, her husband. So happy. And then this little sweet pea can still be alive because I don't want any casualties. I don't want any casualties. This place isn't far from where Seiko died. Maybe that's why. The instant Hanayome vanished, I thought I caught a glimpse of her loyal dog. I hope her dog and the song her fiancé wrote her wrote for her, help her be at peace in heaven. Should we head back? Yeah. Hey, yo. The phones start ringing out of nowhere. It won't stop. It's like it's waiting for someone to answer. What should I do? Go pick that bad boy up. Ooh! I got an achievement. Hello? Hello, Mr. Obama? Hello? On the other end of the line is the gentle voice of a woman. I'm so very sorry for causing you so much trouble. Please excuse me. Hey, yeah, don't call random public phone booths. That's so sus. It is very sus. What was that? A wrong number or something? I was a little panicked, but now I relax. I step out of the booth and get into the car with Suzu. Yay, back home. Welcome back, Mr. Yashiki. Dude, I totally forgot about her. I totally forgot. I thought it was her and the otaku dude. It's thanks to you that my mark is finally gone. Too bad I didn't get to do much. I've read a ton of comics about exorcisms, so I thought I could help you. Mr. Otaku dude. Good job to you too, Suzu. Everything went okay? Yeah, it's all thanks to him. Yeah, I felt bad because when we came back, he was devastated. I was like, no. He cool though. He an otaku. He's one of those that's in love with those pop idol groups though. He's a fanboy. Oh yeah? I bet I could have done a better job than him. Boy, no, we would have died. I awaited your return, Lord Yashiki. I am too. No, don't get me wrong. I am too. Very huge. He probably would have been a good partner to conversate with, but I realized if I'd taken him with me on any of those, we would have died instantly in the forest. So it was like he had to stay behind the whole time. It appears that you overcame your fear and cleared away the grudge. Congratulations. What manga are you starting? I finished all of JoJo all the way up until Steel Ball Run. Like, I've watched the anime. I haven't read the manga all the way from part 1 to part 6. But I don't want to wait for the anime, so I think that'll be the first manga that I'll pick up because I really want to read Steel Ball Run. Though it is unfortunate that your mark has not yet vanished, I've managed to defeat 3 spirits now, but my mark still hasn't disappeared. It feels like that terrible fact might just freeze the blood in my veins. But I vowed to fight against the mark. All I can do now is press forward. You didn't come back to nothing. I pretty much finished the whole chapter. You've been gone this whole time. I finished the chapter for tonight. Oh, is it on Crunchyroll? Right now I'm pressing on My Hero Academia right now and Tokyo Revengers. Mr. Yashiki, may I have a word? I looked through the other files in the garage after you left, and I found this. She hands over a file that says 8 Shrine Findings on the cover. Sayakujo's signature is in the corner. The Kujo family's guardians were housed there, So it makes sense that this was here. Go on, read it. Most of it is about how H Shrine was built and its history. It lines up with what Mary told us. Everything that happened from the anti-Buddhist movement to now is in here. But it looks like even Saya didn't know who stole the statues 50 years ago. Some pages are about H Shrine's Go Shintai, the item that houses the deity's spirit. This shrine has two. This shrine has two. A mirror and a small Buddha statue called Nenjibutsu. The Nenjibutsu should be in the brocade pouch, but I never saw anything like that at the shrine. I wonder where it ended up. The last few pages contain notes on an investigation into the stolen statues. It mentions a rumor that started circulating a few months ago. I think I heard of Tomo-chan as a girl. I heard of it, I never got into it. I've been so behind, but I've been literally like handfuls of stuff. Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, and Tokyo Revengers. And JoJo. Oh, and I forgot to add Buddy Daddies. Buddy Daddies is on the top of the list though right now. So this was a few months ago. K Miyamachi North Road in H City. It's a back street that, due to the city's poor planning, is covered in manholes. Because of that, people call it Manhole Road. On a moonless night, a young woman was walking down in on her way home from work. An old sign read, "Be wary of strangers." Suddenly fearful, she attempted to hurry her steps down the dimly lit back street. But she couldn't take a step forward. A noise, something heavy being dragged. And this is a figure was discernible from out of the darkness. Ooh! It was a woman with disheveled hair wearing a burnt white robe. She cradled a headless Buddha statue as it was her own child. The shadows and hair hid most of the face, but she could see her blood-red lips twisted into a satisfied smile. Terrified by the eerie sight, she turned her heel and ran away. Some distance away, she turned to look back. But the woman was gone. Is this the scariest one to you? Or is it hard? Or both? But the woman was gone. I remember you told me that you said it was 5 plus 1 extra stage, right? So we should be halfway through the story after this, because this is now would be chapter 4. Oh, it's spoopy? Oh my god, I don't like spoopy. I do like spoopy, but I don't like spoopy. Ooh boy. The statues were stolen 50 years ago, so it wasn't that woman, but I doubt it's that easy to find headless Buddha statues. I'm sure she must know something. I asked Hanayome where the statues stolen from H Shrine were, and now there's an unexpected lead. What a strange coincidence. If you can find those stolen statues and honor them at H Shrine, the divine wrath will be quelled, and you might be freed from the mark. Another way that might possibly allow me to escape my mark. It's worth looking into at least. Oh, before I forget, you should take these too. Documents on the Hasegawa case, so that we found after you left. Read through them if you want. It is almost dawn. We must end today's investigation. Please rest. All right. Thank you very much, mister. Because of you, I think I'll get to see my dad too. Oh. She did all of that. She sacrificed her old life to look for her dad. Because of you, I think I'll get to go see my dad too. Oh. You need to go somewhere to see him? My mom and dad got divorced. Oh. Yeah. Mom decided that she wanted to become a nun. She started taking me to temples and a lot of sacred areas. Dad didn't like that, and he started seeing some other lady. I understand. You don't have to say anymore. I guess Suzu's been embroiled in the world of adults for a while already. Maybe that's why she's so brave while being so young. I asked Mom to tell me where Dad is, but she wouldn't say. She told me he's bewitched by a demon and to forget him. So that's why I wanted to ask Hanayome where Dad is. I see. I hope you get to see him. Me too. Okay, good night. This character would look like me if she was older and she had brown skin. Oh my god, so close. She's so cute though, and I like the otaku guy. And I like Mitsuya. Oh my god. How do I forget him? Mashita. Yeah, Mashita. I love him too. I love him and the main character together though. I'm really in your debt. It's thanks to you that Suzu was saved. Thanks so much. He seems more worried about her than himself. His appearance, personality, and job all make him suspicious. But that one thing is clear. I know she asked me to, but I was the one who brought her out there after all. So if something had happened to her, I just... Hey, are you alright? I'm so glad she's okay. The hot tears streaming down his face are those of relief, apparently. You should head to bed for today. I'm sure you're tired, right? Yeah. Thanks. Good night. I'm heading to bed soon myself. My mark's finally gone. I think I'm going to sleep well tonight. There's no reason for you to stay any longer. You're right about that. I'll be leaving tomorrow. Sorry, but even 9 lives wouldn't be enough to survive staying here. You said it. But I'm grateful for all this too. It gave me time to rethink my life. Ironic, isn't it? If I hadn't been cursed by a spirit, I'd be in that forest right about now. Christy's smile turns weary. Well, I'm off to bed now. Good night. Bye. You didn't even want to help me out in like the 2nd chapter, bro. Now then, Lord Yashiki, please find me when you are ready. Farewell. New info added to the spirit file. The truth behind Hanayome. Alright, this is what we get to do now. So, we're going to put this at 4. Alright. No partners. We're going to look in our bag and we get to do our assessment before we call it a night. Alright. The truth behind Hanayome. It might have all started with the lingering grudge caused by that tragic event. Hanayome was likely Seiko Hasegawa. She became a spirit obsessed with eyes, an imitation of her fiancé's revenge. Their dog turned into that thing in an effort to save them. The info I got from a fellow mark bearer points to that as well. Her fiancé was a musician known as YMN. Back then, he made a name for himself by cross-mixing genres into his music from rock and pop to classic and techno. Around the time of the incident, he had been working on a new album. The last song on it was My Holy. Oh, see the dot dot dots? Yeah, it made sense, bro. And I remember that from last, so that's probably why it pinged into my head at the last second to switch that stuff up. But yeah, My Holy, and dedicated it to his fiance. But in the end, the album was published without that final track. The song and her fiance's love finally reached Seiko. I'd like to think it's because of us and Genta. I hope their tragic tale has finally come to a close, but some things still don't add up. How did Hanayome suddenly get the power to bestow the mark? The answer might lie with the Buddha statue stolen from H Shrine. The files in the garage mention the Buddha statues were stolen from H Shrine 50 years ago. Right during the period of chaos following the end of the war. Is there a connection? What's more, a year-old interview says someone witnessed a woman in white carrying a headless Buddha statue on the street called Manhole Road. Maybe I should look into that next. Man, that's best for next chapter. Man, I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. Like, this chapter was the saddest chapter. That's why I was so I was so head on with like getting the good ending. I don't know if it actually pertains to like an overall like good ending for the end of the game, but I would, in hopes, just try to keep doing this and get no casualties all the way to the end. And I don't know what would happen if you start losing people. I didn't really like when I found out about the game, and I knew it was like a game based on choice. I wouldn't have thought that, if you had some casualties, it would like make you start over and things like that. But apparently when you lose somebody, it allows you to continue on with the story without them in the picture. So I feel like if you end up like doing stuff wrong, it might mess up the ending, maybe. But we're gonna do this right the first time, and then maybe I'll try to see what happens when you let people die. I don't know if there's certain people that have to be dead, or if there's just everybody. Dang. Alright, you said you can't confirm or deny. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. Yesterday, if I would have decided to keep going, she would have been a casualty. One casualty. What are my other thoughts? The other thing that bothers me is Mary the doll. Like, because I watch so much horror stuff, it seems too good to be true, and I feel like she might be a problem. Because this dude doesn't have his mark erased, and I don't know who might be the end boss. It might be this divine spirit thing. But we got 5 chapters. So this was number 3. We have 2 more to go. So I'm on the lookout for all this stuff. I have a lot of speculations. I have a lot of questions, and I'm excited to see how this goes later on. But I know that it's Sunday, and I know I streamed this story twice, but I mentioned why earlier. So unfortunately, I would have been pressing on to chapter 4 right now. But we'll save that for Tuesday, I have decided. Oops. I won't be there that day. So I will try to squeeze in to get part 4 done. And hopefully you guys will be able to come see it live. That way I could be back on track, because Final Fantasy Theatrhythm comes out on the 16th. So I'll be timed correctly with scheduling, with me beating this game and then me playing Final Fantasy Theatrhythm for a bit. But shoot, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I'm kind of glad I did that over. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think if there's any other information about the game that I had, or thoughts I should say. I don't think I do, but right now you said that the next chapter is supposed to be very, very spoopy. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope we find out more information, because the thing that I question too is about these Buddhas and the stolen Buddha heads 50 years ago, and something has turned it. I'm guessing they're saying that the Buddha has been angry from the desecration of like the graves, the missing heads, I guess. So basically what it's saying is that it got angry and it turned itself into a monstrous spirit, calling itself the divine wrath. If I'm putting all together the information correctly. And that divine wrath is a powerful being that is giving marks to other spirits to mark them. But for why, I don't know. I don't have any idea. So I guess hopefully we'll find out in the next chapter, or these next 2 chapters, I guess. So that's going to be really cool to find out. But I guess that concludes for tonight. I actually ended up like finishing early, even though I started late. Because I had to like redo chapters 1 and 2 just to get to chapter 3. So I was like 10 minutes late. So that was actually pretty good on my part. But this has to be the story. This has to be the shortest story, in my opinion, because we ended up blowing through this really quickly. Like, not much was to be gathered. So by the time I blinked, I was already halfway through, and then you blink again, and now you're at the fight. So this ended up being really short. But it has to be one of my favorite sad stories. I hope some of them get really good later on. But I want to thank you for watching, though, you guys coming in and starting to watch. I know it's been kind of like a slow night, but I'm actually glad I got to get this completed and the good ending so we can continue on. Just a reminder for on Tuesday that I will be back on 6 p.m. so we can knock out chapter 4. So that should be good. And then we'll be back on track after that. And I'll see you guys that weekend after. But I want to tell you guys good night. Thank you, Newbart, for being around for the last stretch of the game too. Thank you for watching me, and everybody else that were in watching too. I hope you enjoyed this chapter. But I will see you guys Tuesday and on the weekend. I'm gonna chill out for a while. I'm gonna get this video posted and sent to YouTube, and have some like scary bits that I was jumping and stuff, and have them posted on TikTok and YouTube shorts. So I'm gonna just start editing and working on videos, and I will see you guys Tuesday. Good night, everybody.